Hi, I'm Angie,
Hi, I'm Takite.
and today I will be running Donkey Kong Country, and the category will be any percent all stages. The ETA is 40 minutes. Hopefully, I don't die enough times to go over the ETA, but I think it'll be alright. I just practiced enough.
Yeah, you should be okay. You're like really good at this game.
Thanks. Alrighty. So we're gonna start after 3. That's 3, 2, 1, go. So for those who have played the game but forgotten the story, basically Donkey Kong is on an adventure to go get his banana hoard back from K. Rool, because apparently he just wanted to steal all of Donkey Kong's bananas. And so by the way we'll be completing the game is by doing a bunch of tricks like extendo rolls. I think plenty of you have seen this run before. I've done it for the previous Frame Fatales, and we also did it for a donkey exhibition that Smooth Operative has displayed before on the GDQ Twitch channel. So what
Would you
you'll
like
be
to
seeing...
maybe tell us a little more about those extendo rolls? Because those are actually like really cool looking somersaults.
Yeah, it's really cool. So the way the extendo rolls work is with every enemy you hit, you pick up speed after, pressing the Y button. Diddy picks up tremendously more speed than Donkey ever will, so you'll be seeing us using Diddy a lot more than Donkey during the run. And because, it's ridiculous with how much Diddy actually picks up. And a little mechanic that isn't really shown in the speedrun at all, but after you hit, I think it's 6 consecutive enemies in a row, you get a life, and it counts up after every hit.
That's cool. Are lives like something you feel like you need to worry about during that run, or nah?
Oh, not so much. Like I said, as long as everything goes smoothly and you don't end up dying everywhere, then you should be okay. So you see what I did there when Diddy hops? It's this little glitch that happens where he can just jump under the crawl spaces, and it saves a few seconds, a few frames, instead of just watching him, just crawl through normally. So that's really neat. So here we have our first water level, and we'll be using On Guard. We have to get to him safely first. Just gotta watch out for that croctopus.
On Guard is your aquatic ride, I assume?
Yep. He's in all of the water stages, but we only use him in 3 out of the 4 that we go to. So we just end up using his lunge to swim through a little more quickly through the water stages and not get hurt by enemies. Because On Guard has this weird thing when he lunges, he has some sort of invisibility frames. So with that, we can avoid getting hit by certain enemies like the croctopuses, but I ended up bonking a corner, so I wasn't able to show it properly at the beginning. And then for this stage, all we do is take a shortcut. Easy peasy, unless I screw up an extendo roll, which I should just hit the midway just in case, but... Alright, I got it. So the way that one worked is with the first 2 Kremlings, you hold down the Y button, and then before the 3rd one you release it, and then after at some point you just press Y again, and you'll land perfectly on the platform and be able to jump over the Kremling and onto the shortcut barrel at the top of that tree.
Is that easy to screw up or pretty consistent?
No, it's pretty consistent. I just kept screwing it up for some reason. When I was practicing and just all of my previous runs, I just kept messing it up. It's what am I doing?
Also, oh my gosh, on this boss, are you even doing anything special, or is it just that fast that you can beat it?
Oh yeah, it's just that quickly. There's a certain frame where you can hit him where he's at his apex of his little hops. So instead of waiting... Okay, I got that extendo. So instead of waiting for him to completely land, you can just jump on him midway through his jump.
Because yeah, that is a quick looking fight.
Yeah. And here we're gonna take another shortcut for those who didn't know this shortcut existed. I remember when my oldest brother would show me that when we were little, and I would like freak out because I thought he was just jumping into the pit, and he was like, "No, look!" And it just like takes you to the end of the stage.
Yeah, I would never find anything like that. Holy heck.
Right?
I would have imagined I'd just, lose a life.
Yeah. It's like so counterintuitive. Like, why jump into a pit for a shortcut? So you're gonna, like you saw in the beginning of that stage, we were able to skip the B cycle and not have to wait for them to come all the way down. It's because if you, do everything correctly, okay, I didn't lose Diddy. You can load the sprites on the screen a certain way, and that way you can just skip a lot of things that you normally would have to wait for. Like these crumlings hopping across, that bee just flying to the left and right. That stage is really scary, and I was afraid of losing Diddy there. If you lose Diddy, then you're donkey. And as the speedrunners say, if you're donkey, you're dead. So don't be donkey and you won't die.
I assume they're...
You assume they're what?
I assume that it won't always kill the run if you're, like, near one of those little barrels to get Diddy Kong back, though?
Oh, definitely not, because then you can just pick them up. Just, don't get hit with donkey.
There are times, though, where being donkey, you'd really rather, like, just die instead of continue the stage?
Yeah, like, at that point, if you lose donkey, then it's a reset.
Jeez.
Yeah.
This says, like, how important Diddy is.
Oh god, I missed a trick! That hasn't happened before, what am I doing? Alright, well, I'm trying to set up the super jump, and I just missed the warp barrel, so I have to go back and get Diddy. I've never made that mistake before. Alright, but the way the super jump works is one of the Kongs has to take damage and run up against the wall, and you'll see them just shoot up into the air, and that sets it up. So then when you land on an enemy, or jump on them, and you press Y and B, one of the Kongs will be sent up to the air, and you'll just fly really high up. Alright, let me... Okay. It's like, where is it? So like that. So there's a warp barrel up there, and the only way to get it is by doing the super jump, oddly enough.
I assume, that's not intended, then do you know why that warp is there?
I honestly have no idea. I think it might be intended, but it's just really weird. So this is the first boss, and like really the only RNG that you deal with. It's with Neki Jr. and Neki Sr. And the way the RNG works with them is they'll either spawn like at the very top of the screen or spawn at the low part of the screen. And it'll either be on the left and right. There's no real way to determine it, but if he does land lower, then it'll be faster. And so on this stage, there's another warp barrel, but it's time-based, and you have to be donkey to unlock it. So that was it right there. And that one, I don't know what they were thinking with that one. I'm just gonna wait for the beast to pass so I don't lose Diddy again. So I'd rather not lose Diddy here. So as long as you get to that spot in that time frame, you'll be able to unlock the bonus, or the warp barrel rather. And then there's another warp barrel there at the top. You'll see a little wheel at the screen, like at the very top of the screen where that bird is. But otherwise, I don't think there's an actual way of finding it.
So continuing on with the story here, aren't like the Crocs doing like some weird stuff in the forest too?
Yeah, I guess so. They're just trying to stop Donkey from getting his horde. Alright, I got the super jump. So the way this one works is there's that rope, or a lot of ropes in this stage. And for this super jump, we have to land on an enemy and then press Y and B. Otherwise, we just hang on to the rope. And I'm not completely sure why that happens. but it's just part of the super jump, I suppose. So we just use it to skip the whole stage instead of, climbing on the ropes and waiting to get past all these enemies.
Yeah, this is a nice effort on the enemy's parts though, but ooh,
Right.
they are not even gonna touch you.
There we go. Okay. So the way the super jump works too is Y controls the speed and then B controls how long you're in the air for. So the longer you hold B, the longer you'll be flying up in the air. But if you're up there too long, the game will be confused and register as a death. So you'll just end up losing a life if that happens. So here we're just going to see a bunch of extendo rolls, and it's going to be through the naughties and through the crumlings coming up. And skipping some ropes. Don't touch the bees. Oh, I didn't get it. So there's another form of extendo. It's called an omega extendo, and it's just the more enemies there are, the more likely you are to, be able to extend the extendo roll, but it's only if you repress Y at the right time. That went pretty smoothly. So here's another trick. Yeah. Here's another trick that we use in the speedrun. It's called map warp. And there are certain pivots on the map that if you press any of the face buttons on your controller, you'll end up going to a different stage. Alright, so we got it first try. So we basically just avoided doing the entire stage by doing the map warp. And if you get it first try, I think it saves like 40 seconds or so. I also remember my oldest brother just kind of mashing. Whoops, well, we got Donkey, that's alright. And ended up map warping. He was really confused, but we all were like super entertained by that.
Is map warping intentional then, or no?
I think it's just like one of the bugs in the game, but like we just do it in the speedrun because like I said, it saves like 30-40 seconds instead of doing the entire stage. And there are some glitches that are allowed, but obviously it's not like everything. Because there are two other categories where we do wrong warps, and they're for old summon and then any percent.
So you said skip a stage, and this is all stages though. Is it simply one that doesn't count, or?
No, we complete the stage. It's just at the end, like we warp to the end of the stage, so we don't have to do the whole thing. Whoops. Oh goodness, alright. That scared me. Distracted. Whoops,
I believe in you. You can do this.
That was good, thank you. I need to lose, or keep losing count of them. 2. 6. Oh, yep, I just screwed up the cycle. So she'll fly around for a bit. There we go. Alright, well at least I got that last hit. So yeah, each of the bosses have their own little cycles. Like you saw, Naughty would hop once, and then you would have to hit him like 4 or 5 times, and then, Neki Jr. would spawn, and then you'd have to hit him, and then he'd respawn at a different location. So that would that be, she flies up and down. It starts at 4 times, I believe, and then it goes 5, 6, and then 7 is the last one.
Okay, so this is like a beautiful winter scape now. Might I ask what cold-blooded creatures are doing here?
I have no idea. I think K. Rool told them to tough it out. They had no choice, they had to listen to their leader.
I guess, Donkey Kong, like, he'll go through this to get bananas. I don't know what would stop him.
Right? Get his horde back. So there was a trick that I did earlier, and I always forget to explain it. But you saw me grab the tin can barrel, and then we kind of like flew across. For whatever reason, whenever one of the Kongs is holding that barrel, and you jump on a slope, then it'll send you just flying across the screen. And here there's another warp barrel. It's at the very top. You can see it. It kind of blends in the background, but not too much.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. So I swapped to Donkey there because his hitbox is bigger and he can reach it versus Diddy not being able to touch it because he's too tiny.
He's a tiny Kong, you might say?
Indeed. Oh goodness, I'm sorry about the dogs. Oop, okay, that's what happens when you get distracted. Come on, Diddy.
I'm sure your dog is just cheering you on to go fast. Had to be really vocal about it.
Right. That was my bad. Oh goodness. Just a second. There.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else love this ostrich? I love that he has, like, shoes on. Find it really funny. Why would an ostrich need shoes? Anyway, I wish I could talk more about the in context.
I keep getting distracted, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was
It's because I had like family members that were supposed to come earlier and then they got here and it's just like, oh god, panic. Sorry about that, alright. That was the last time.
You're still doing good, I'd say.
Alright, thank you.
I just wanted to say, like, you make the ostrich movement look so good. I don't know, like, the mechanics of what's going on, but I assume that there's, you know, something going on here?
Right, yeah, so, basically, with the bird, the ostrich here, we just mash the B button to flutter, and you can see, like, him flying. I think it's I keep calling it a her, but it ended up being a him, and I never knew this, like, all this time. But, yeah, you press B a certain way. Like, you don't have to mash it, but you have to press it in a certain rhythm, and that way, like, we are able to fly across, everything properly. Oop, okay, well, there goes Diddy. Gotta go get him again. Yeah, sometimes those little squids can be real jerks, so you gotta watch out for how they swim, because there's one coming up that spawns at the bottom, but if you don't swim up quickly enough, he just, like, catches up with you, and it's just, like, a big surprise, and it's always really scary. Alright. It's this one right here. I was practicing this earlier, and then he just showed up, and I was like, oh no, Diddy! So this stage is essentially an auto-scroller. It's not really too scary. You can bonk a lot of the corners, which makes you lose, like, a bit of frames, but other than that, all you have to do is swim up, and then sometimes down, and then other times get to the barrels. And the stage is called Croctopus Chase because these blue croctopuses, they just end up, like, following you, but they stop at certain points like that one. Like, they have their little resting areas. Oops, swim down. So yeah, besides that little squid earlier, it's going very nicely. Yeah, the way you swim faster in this game is just you have to keep pressing the B button, but in the other two Donkey games, you actually have to hold down Y to swim more quickly as well while pressing the B button, but I don't know what made them change it or add that, I guess, to 2 and 3, but you don't have to worry about that in 1. But yeah, what was that? Holding down Y is also...
What was that?
Yeah, I don't know, it was weird. It's how you run in this game. So, we'll just get Diddy right here, it's fine. You see Squawks? We don't need Squawks. We can do this without him. If you turn up the brightness high enough in your TV, then you won't need the parrot. And the reason why we don't get him is because he creates a lot of lag in this game.
Really?
Yep.
That much? That's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because his light kind of guides you, but like when you move left and right, oh, that's real nice. Then like the light will flash in between the turns, and I guess with all the enemies on screen, that also creates more lag. All right. Thankfully, there's like a bunch of donkey barrels at the beginning of this, so we don't have to worry too much about using Diddy, but I'm a little concerned about how World 5 is gonna go. So I think I'll keep Donkey and not skip a cycle with the next boss, which I'll explain when we get there.
By the way, if anybody's thinking about subscribing to the channel, just to let you know, that is what makes events like this and Hotfix possible. So thank you so much, viewers.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah, happy to be able to have these really nice marathons, show off these cool games.
Most definitely. Alright, so here's really naughty, which is just like the beaver that we fought earlier, but instead he jumps very high in the air. I guess I'll do it. 3. So for whatever reason, when you interrupt his laugh after you hit him the third time, you just completely skip the next cycle, and then you can just have Diddy bounce on his head and he's done. And I think it works for any of the cycles, but of course we save it for the last one because it'll get by more quickly and he doesn't have to bounce or hop 4 times. Oops. Alright, I practiced the stage enough earlier. I think I'll be fine.
I hope you'll be fine. Good luck. This certainly looks convoluted, to say the least.
Oh yeah, World 5 I feel is the casually and speedrun wise. Okay, well I missed that. Alright, that's fine. Hello, donkey. Alright, I get him just in case, because this orang likes to barrel, and sometimes I don't hop on time. There's these oil cans too. And you can skip this one and the next one by doing these tire rolls, but if I hadn't died like 3, I definitely would have gone for them. And it saves quite a chunk of time. So this is supposed to be another auto-scroller, but you don't worry about it because there's another warp barrel up here. Who would have guessed, right? Sorry about the screen.
No.
No happened.
Your niece, I believe it is. Sounds cute. I just hope nobody else minds that this is going bananas.
Yeah, this is actually going bananas. I was expecting them to come sooner. I'm very sorry again for all of the distractions.
All of the real life RNG happening.
Yeah, pretty much. No RNG and DKC, so it's, you know, life's gotta give me that little taste, and I died.
What do you think killed you?
I didn't hold down the jump button, so I didn't make that elevator cycle. That's alright. At least I hit the midpoint, because I knew better. So right there you saw me roll and then kind of head back, and that was just for the sake of loading the elevator, instead of waiting for it to come down.
Aw.
Yeah, I think he's just tired. It's time for them to go to sleep soon because my older nephew starts school, I think, tomorrow.
Oh no, starting
Yeah.
school this early in August. Terrible.
Right? Alright, so here's Poison Pond, and we'll be using On Guard again. And we'll be seeing a little bit, like, of the use of his invincibility frames of what I talked about earlier. And it's basically, we lunge when we hit the certain point in a wall. Whoops. Alright, come on. There you go. Alrighty.
Ah, the water music. So good.
I know, it's so good. Ah! Alright, I thought we were gonna hit that fishy. Yeah, if you lose On Guard, there's another spot. I think it was right before this area. Okay, there we go. There's another On Guard box that you can get. Go On Guard, go. Come back, come back. Alright. You don't need him for this final push. What's up?
I was just telling a bad joke. Gotta unbox the On Guard.
Oh. It's true. But yeah, if you lose On Guard, like, in that final spot, you can just keep swimming to the top and the fishies won't hit you. So here's another weird trick that we do, another weird glitch about the game. I would have gone for the jump roll, but I was too afraid of dying again. So when Donkey picks up enough speed and he gets hit by an enemy, then for whatever reason, we can just roll into the air infinitely with Diddy. Although it stops at a certain point. Yeah, it's so weird,
whatever.
Right?
No, this looks really cool. He's just, you know, prancing his way through the air.
So it's at this section where it stops for, I don't know why, but it just cuts off and you can't continue doing the glitch. So we just ride the minecart to the end and avoid all the beat. And hit this guy because he's waiting for you. He patiently waits for you. This one too, look at them. They're such good Kremlings. K-Rool should be proud.
Yeah. Good underlings are hard to come by these days.
Sure is. And then there's a little naughty that falls, and that's pretty much the end of this stage. It's always funny to watch people's reaction when you get there and you just start cartwheeling. People are like, what? Just like, you can always do this. So this stage, called Blackout Basement, and as you can see, it's because the lights flicker on and off. Alright, so I'm gonna hit this just in case, because knowing me, I'll probably be like, what? I'll also get distracted.
At least you're honest.
Yeah, right.
So it's amazing you can concentrate this much for a stage where the lights go out. Oof.
Yeah, it's pretty scary, but like once you remember everything, then it gets easier as you do it more. I made sure to practice the stage a lot. Oops, I missed the extendo, but that's alright. Alright. Now this boss is called Boss Dum Drum, and for a very specific reason. It's because he ended up hurting himself too much by trying to squish the Kongs. So he also has 5 cycles where he just shoots out random enemies, and after to Donkey, because the enemies are too big for Diddy to just jump on like these little guys. Such.
God, that's just mountains and mountains of bananas.
I know, right? Like Donkey
It's
could
insane.
have all of these, but he's not going to be satisfied.
No,
So-
he's not satisfied with, you know, all of the mountains of bananas he already has. He needs more. I don't even get the point of a banana horde. Those bananas are gonna spoil.
Right?
Questioning, you know, his whole quest, but I still respect it. Still really amazing.
Alright, so here we go. This is the final world, and this is another but this one you gotta be extra careful because we have this little platform here and we have to make sure that the fuel stays filled up. Otherwise, it'll fall and you'll just lose the life. There are 2 tricks that you can do on the stage. It's called Creme Tut, which is, Tut is just short for Tanked Up Trouble, which is the name of the stage, and then Bird Tut. Creme Tut saves about 55 seconds, I believe, or 50 seconds, and then Creme Tut saves around 40.
How tight is this level, by the way? Like, if you miss a single fuel, are you just out of luck?
At the beginning, like, there's way more leeway, but yeah, like after the midpoint, good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at that point, you're probably just gonna end up losing a life, because it gets very tight after this point, because instead of, like, the 6 or 5 dots that show up, it's only, like, 3 or 1. So you have to make sure to get all of them.
Yeah. This seems like, you know, kind of scary casually then.
Oh yeah, it is. Whoops. Well, I didn't get that one because... Oh, I got this though! I don't know if we're gonna make it. Are we gonna make it? Make it. We didn't make it. Oh, we didn't make it. But now we're donkey. I don't think it's gonna work though.
Ooh. I'm not... Oh my god, how is it Republican?
I can't believe this is happening. Oh my goodness. I've never died like oh my god. Sorry. Oh my goodness, that's the first for me. It's funny though.
That was a very funny way to die.
It's cause like you're supposed to push this little tire, and I didn't think that it was gonna like fall. So I was like, well, it's too late to get the gas tank now. But that shows like how tight it is. Like if you don't get one, then you're most likely screwed.
Yeah.
I like how we were talking about it and it happened.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry for jinxing it.
No, it's okay.
But like you grabbed it, but it died like just frames before you were able to save it. Oh, so sad.
Yeah, it was good though. Made for a good show.
I'd say. Made for some funny laughs.
So yeah, at the end there, you saw that we didn't really have to wait. Like we could have just jumped in and hit that barrel that'll shoot us. What's up?
You were so close to the end too.
I know. So here we're using our best buddy Rambi, which is he's not really loved by many in the DKC community. There's an emote on FFZ called Heck Rambi. I should probably hit that midpoint with how horribly everything has been going. But it's just Rambi with like the giant the slash over him. So thankfully we don't really need Rambi anymore. There was this little shortcut that we could have used with him by hitting that mincer there, that spiky tire, and then we would have just like flown across, but it's okay. He did his job well. Thank you, Rambi. See, he was a good boy.
He was a good boy. I don't have anything against Rambi. In fact, we should protect Rambi, not just because he's an endangered species.
Yeah, there we go. So next is Misty Mines, where the enemies are just shooting out of these barrels. You don't have to be super careful, but as long as you know the pattern. Like I said, as long as you load everything correctly, then you should be fine. Which I've been doing a very poor job at. Alright. Alright, this is going way better. Oops. So yeah, for some reason, if you load these arms and shoot out of those tanks, one of them or two of them will just fly really high into the... Gotta be careful with that. It's like, whoa, whoops. And here's another one of the stages. You can see if the brightness is turned up very highly on your TV or at the max, so that way we don't have to keep turning on these lights.
So I assume you have your brightness on really high then?
Oh, I sure do.
Does it make it hard for like any other areas in the run though, like the snowy area?
No, it doesn't, surprisingly, because it doesn't get extremely bright. Like, this game isn't super bright, so if you turn up the brightness, it actually helps, especially for these stages. It doesn't work with Blackout Basement, though.
Ah. That's lucky. I like having eyes not seared off.
Right. Alright, that was done very nicely. Oh, well, there was a trick that you could do there where you land in front of throwing the barrels and you can just roll off of him. But I missed that little ledge.
You said that Donkey Kong isn't very bright and, you know, you started a war now.
What was that? Alright, that's okay. Just gotta do this carefully with Donkey now. Yep, come here. Yeah, it's always weird using Donkey here, because like I said, he's a bit slow, but I think we'll be okay for the remainder of the stage, unless, you know, he doesn't jump off. That's really nice.
That sounds not good.
Yeah, that's alright. I was just too impatient there, but now we get to show off a Diddy again, so I guess it works out right.
Yeah.
So we can skip a bunch of these just by rolling and then hitting the next platform instead of using all of them and patiently waiting. So just like that. And just rolling through these enemies, and the last stage of World 6. And this is the final boss before K. Rool. So this is Neki Sr., where like I said, their cycles are different. So he'll shoot out one nut, and then it's 2. And then you can just jump on him, and it'll go up to 5. 2... Alright. Easy peasy. So here we are with the K. Rool.
Yeah. Not that I don't love everybody else in this game, but my favorite part of this game. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And the
Fighting
music.
is a lot of fun. Yes, the song's so good. So here he's gonna run 3 times and then throw the crown.
Shame the fight is so short though, huh?
Right, yeah, like when you start speedrunning, it's like, man, it's so short. So you see that line at the bottom of like where the wooden floorboards are? Like you can stand in between some of them, and when he's on the left side of the ship, then the cannonballs that are falling won't hurt you. And you think, hey, we did it, we beat.
Yeah, no, runs over. So sad.
And you see the credits. It starts with the K. That's not right.
The credits.
Yeah. And then the characters: Crusha, Coloring Critter, Concept Clump, and then Commander King K. Rool. The end? Isn't that suspicious?
Yeah, where's my boy, Satoru Iwata?
And here he comes! Time's gonna be coming up soon. The field one debated. Debated by the King K. Rool himself.
I didn't just get baited, I got crated.
Oh, that one hurt, but it was good. And here comes time. Time! Yay, we did it! We got all of Donkey's bananas back, and we only died like 5 or 6 times. I'm so sorry again. That was a lot of fun.
It sounds like standard marathon. Well, don't worry about it.
Right, of course. So yeah, you find out after you beat the game that Cranky was indeed the first world record holder, because he says it took him less than an hour to beat and he only used 1 life for the entirety of it. So he tries to make you feel bad about it. Then it's like a challenge, because you're like, alright, bring it on. I can beat you.
And you certainly can. I know I can't. Cranky's got that one on me.
But yeah, that was DKC any percent all stages. Sorry again for all of the distractions that happened. I didn't know that they were gonna happen, but it was a lot of fun regardless.
Thank you for doing your run. It was really entertaining to watch.
Thanks. Yeah, shout out to the DKC community. If you guys want to head to the DKC Speedruns website, and you can also find the resources under speedrun.com/DKC.